So, Mark, I want to start off with, I know you're working with the ACC Network again this upcoming season, but we're going to talk a lot of NFL, of course. We'll talk your BC Eagles, too. But as you've seen, over the years, just watching the NFL, especially this season, I know we have a 1-week sample size, but what's jumped out to you of the evolution you've seen in the NFL, going from your last playing days in 2016, 2017 to now where we are in 2024?
Well, it's funny. I saw like an evolution during my playing days, and we all saw it, right? Yeah. When I came in, part of my rookie class, there was a fullback in my recruiting class, right? in my rookie class. Like, that's a change, right? You're playing different types of offenses. The whole college system was not in the NFL yet when I first started, and then it slowly progressed into it. And by 2018, when I was out, now we're seeing pockets of it, but it really hadn't infiltrated the NFC East as much yet, right? And so now I think every single division has gotten a piece of that. Hey, we're going to have a mobile quarterback. We're going to get outside the pocket. To me, I think the reason why I love watching NFL football is because of the strategy. And right, like, I love watching quarterback play dropping back and passing the football. Maybe I'm just like old school, but like, I don't love the like, we're going to sprint out and limit your options. We're going to only have you read half the field as a quarterback. We're going to have it be all RPO. To me, it just feels like you're playing Madden and you're just running like 4 verts the whole game and throwing it the same. Like, it's that type of thing where it's like, it feels gimmicky at times. So that being said, like, I know we're gonna get to Patriots. Like, I loved going back old school, right? With Jacoby and Stevenson, like running the football, defensive line, offensive line. And it's funny doing college stuff right now. So many coaches are having success going away from the spread offense, and they're saying, okay, well, now it's been 10 years of the spread offense, and now teams know how to defend it. We're seeing the safeties doing multiple reads coming in the box, so how can we just drop back with a pocket passer and pick dudes apart? So I think it's funny. Like, you don't think you're going to live through, like, an entire cycle, but if you look at fashion, everybody's wearing, like, baggy jeans and baggy T-shirts. Like, that's what I wore in elementary school, right? I mean, that's what, that's what 90s fashion was. And now it's bringing it back. So, hey, football's on the same trend.
Fashion is a cycle. Football is a cycle. I agree with that. Even you think of like the top quarterback prospect right now that's in this next upcoming draft, it's Carson Beck. He's athletic. That's an underrated part of his game. But in that Georgia system, it's downhill, running the football, and then a lot happens from there. You're going to love the matchup we're about to talk about between the Seahawks and the Patriots too, Mark, because it's two teams that are going to run the ball and win with defense. When you watch these offenses now, and you kind of touched on it, being a guy that played on the edge would also play in the box, is that something where you diagnose, game to game, week to week, of like, this is how to attack this quarterback, this is how to attack this offense that you watch on Sundays?
Yeah, 100%. And like, anytime you're prepping for a quarterback, the first thing is, okay, what are their threats, right? Like, say you're playing a Tom Brady, okay, his brain is his first threat, right? He's got a great arm and all that stuff, but you're defending his brain and his knowledge. If you're playing against a Kyler Murray, right? That's not your first threat. His first threat is his legs and his mobile arm and the ability to roll out to his left and make crazy passes. So, like, for those types of guys, right, we got to match that intensity with our athleticism and with our multiplicity and the different things. So, like, I think anytime that I'm preparing for a quarterback, I'm saying, okay, this is what you do great, and then this is what I do great. I mean, I think that's part of it too. Like, anytime defensive coordinators only game plan for the opponent, you're seeing like them play away from what their talents are. But the good coordinators and the good players will be like, oh, cool, like, we're going against a mobile quarterback or we're going against a pocket passer. But if we change our entire identity to stop that, then we're going to be splintered as a defense. So when you can like hone that in and you can say, okay, we are going to be a tough physical defense. Literally every coach says that. Every coach says we're going to be a tough physical defense. But how many teams actually play tough physical football and like tackle guys down on the first time and don't like arm tackle and dive? So again, these are just like defensive gripes always, but that's how you go into the games. You say, okay, we're going to attack this guy in a certain way, and when you get it right and it fits your system, then you have a lot of success.
We got to talk about Saturday. We covered Thursday. We covered Sunday. We have to talk about Saturday. Your BC Eagles, ranked number 24 in the country, going out to Mizzou, top 10 ranked, both teams 2-0. But what are you looking at in this matchup? Of course, you with the background of being an All-American at Boston College, but also a guy with ACC Network. I know you're just so deep in everything with this conference and your alma mater.
Yeah, well, first of all, this makes me happy, right? We are on a Boston sports talk show, and we're talking BC football. Like,
Right.
I do feel like when you get that ranking, that number next to your school name, like it's almost an obligation to be like, oh, well, we got to mention BC now. And like, I think they are feeling it there, right? Talking to some of the players and stuff, like they feel the excitement. Like they love it. So if you're a Boston fan and you want to like impact games, because pro players aren't going to listen to anything you say. If you give some positive stuff to these college kids, they're going to listen to everything and they're going to vibe off that. So let me do that right now. I feel like Bill O'Brien has done a phenomenal job since getting there. When he first got there, I sat down with him in his office and kind of talked through, hey, what's your plan for this team? Like, where are you going to go? What changes are you going to make? And he said all the right things, right? He said, hey, I'm going to bring in this guy to do this. I'm going to bring in this guy to do this. And those guys that were this guy, they are pro coaches. These are professional football coaches. Like Tim Lewis, like you get Tim Lewis as your defensive coordinator. Like that's ridiculous. And then you get Bill O'Brien running the offense. I mean, so I think that what they have done, they said, look, we are going back to a pro style football offense. We are going to, like I started this show off, we're going to look old school. We're going to run the football. We are going to have play action passes. We are going to have a lot of counter schemes. We are going to have pullers. We're going to have double team blocks up front. And there are certain schools where that would be a detriment to their progress. If you did go and do that at Miami, that Mario Cristobal tried to do that in his first year at Miami. It was not successful because the players that they can recruit in Miami are more apt to being successful in a spread style offense where you can create big plays, get them out in space. BC, when you look at when they have been good and their recruiting base, it is Northeast. I mean, you win Philadelphia, you win New Jersey, you win all of Massachusetts, you win New York, and like you get some big uglies from New Hampshire and Vermont, and then you put this team together and you say, okay, great, we have all these big tough guys, let's spread them out and get them the ball in space. Like, that doesn't work. What you do, you press them all together and you say, all right, stop this wave that we're coming at you with. And I think that's what BC has done offensively. And then the buy-in on defense, you mentioned it was mentioned a few times already, of like when the Patriots defense came out, they gave different looks. They gave disguises on the back end. They were trying to fool the opposing quarterback. Well, that's what BC is doing. I mean, they are rotating coverage. They're going all over the place, and they're confusing these quarterbacks. And so I'm excited to see what they're going to do versus Mizzou. I have them winning that game. I think they're going to surprise the nation even more this weekend.
Yeah, I love watching Carter Davis, Kerry Johnson work in that secondary, and then some of the guys that get up on the defensive line, like Cam Horsley as well. What to you says that they can pull off this upset, going out to Missouri, being in Columbia, Mizzou ranked number 6 in the country, and with the defense that hasn't let up a touchdown yet, but yes, a defense that's also faded Murray State and Buffalo.
It is the film. It's just the film. Like BC looks like a better football team on film than Missouri does, and they've been battle tested. This is the first time Mizzou is going to play any player that has been recruited to a Power 4 school. That's this weekend, and they're going to be in for it.
I'm excited to see Thomas Castellanos in that environment. And that's a guy that's been sometimes would have to put on the Superman cape, but as you mentioned it, Mark, because of what Bill O'Brien does and that system that they brought, they've turned him into a refined passer and just a damn good quarterback. I can't wait, man. Saturday, it's exciting for the hype to be in the area. Mark, it was exciting to have you on this show, man. What do you think? Your first time on Foxboro Rush?
Hey, it was fun, baby. I had a great time. I hope I did BC and New England proud.
You did it
and
all
Charlestown proud.
Exactly. Hey, just two townies hanging out on Rush. I'll see you soon enough. We're going to grab a bite over by Sully's or at Monument. I'll see you there.
All right, take care.
He's Mark Herzlich. I'm George Balekji. This is Foxboro Rush. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like, download, subscribe, rate, review, wherever you get your podcast, and watch us and subscribe on Nesson's YouTube and Twitch as well. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.